goodness, so we've got the leaked content. This chapter is absolutely mind-blowing in many ways. Plus, a much-loved character makes their return after over 15 chapters. The story is taking a whole new turn, and you'll see what I mean when we dive into the leaks right now. The chapter starts from a different perspective. We follow a young woman fleeing from someone. I don't mention her name in the chapter, but let's be honest, it's most likely Yuro. The chapter's title is Baka, Survivor, and I'll explain why that's important later. Gege definitely pulled a fast one on us. He teased us with the expectation of Yuji getting back into action, considering the Yuji versus Chozo battle this week. He totally diverted from that plot. The girl we see is angry at Kenjaku for all that's happening in the culling game. She asks, isn't it too cruel to give them life once again, by turning them into cursed objects, but now take away their lives once again? She then gets trapped by a jellyfish-type curse as she hears Kenjaku saying, it's too tasteless, I'll add more flavor. If it's too strong, I'll add more of the original. You people are like seasoning and water to me. I don't have any particular feelings towards you. She tries to fight back, but Kenny fully seals her head and says, even though I don't have feelings towards you people, I sometimes feel like you guys are too good to waste. Kenny tells that he applied cursed objects on reincarnated ones, and the cursed symbol on awakened sorceress, so it's easy to track them down. And then someone else arrives and asks Kenny, why is he still talking when she's already dead? Hazunoki confronts Kenjaku, and Kenjaku jokes about who's qualified to be his friend. He shouldn't bore Kenny and be on the same level as him. Hazunoki refuses to be Kenny's friend, because he says he had enough with friends with long hair. Hazunoki says, you sure like talking to yourself. I guess that's what happens when you live too long. Kenjaku says, because my friends got fewer and fewer. Kenny asks Hazunoki to hold on and watches Gojo and Tsuguna's battle mid-fight. He realizes that Tsuguna expanded her technique target to take down Gojo, then adds, got a good-looking face there, to Gojo. Kenny explains that he has left his curses at Shinjuku to monitor, as he also knows amplification of curses, energy each sorcerer, and Yuta, who's the number 2, is specifically noticeable, and he also shares side with his curses. Kenny adds, they have awakened physical gifted Zen Maki, along with Maime's little brother, who most likely has a spatial teleportation type curse technique. It's risky to just plan against the sorceress. Kenjaku then attacks Hazunoki with his curses. Hazu tries to survive by throwing a teeth towards them and bond with his curse technique. The teeth explodes at contact. Hazunoki attempts to run away, but Kenny's curses rounds him up. When asked what his true objective is, Kenny says he's going to end the culling game by eliminating all players, and with that as a binding bow, he will activate merging process of Tengen with all the people in Japan. Kenny asks Hazunoki, don't you want to make sure if something you thought interesting is true or not? Isn't that what living is all about? Before dying, Hazunoki tells Kenny to look at his own shit every morning to satisfy his curiosity. And we then see the goat Takaba arrive to fight against Kenjaku. Kenny immediately attacks Takaba and wonders why did he come alone as there's no monitoring from Mei. But Kenny says he doesn't have any interest in awakened players except Teguruma. But Takaba survives Kenny's attack. Even Kenjaku is in disbelief. Takaba's curses at Kenny saying, you shitty monk, you tried to kill me. I'm not forgiving you. I'm gonna get your ass in jail. Kenjaku feels something's off with Takaba. Kenjaku's thoughts after seeing Takaba survive his attack. What was that? It's the first time I felt anything like this. It wasn't that there was no damage, it was like he made it so there was no damage. On the last page, Takaba says, there's a lot of things to get excited for in the world. The number one thing to get excited about is when an entertainer only there to match numbers takes the whole show. Kenjaku says you're right. There's no break next week. This chapter has given us a glimpse into Kenjaku's activities and added a new layer to the story. Kenjaku is definitely up to something big, and Takaba's upcoming fight against him promises to be one of the series' most entertaining and amusing moments. This might also shed light on Yuta's role in the upcoming chapters and his significance in the battle against Kenjaku. Kenjaku is slowly setting his grand plan in motion, and he's bound to surprise us with his next moves. Regardless of what unfolds from this point onward, the final phase of the Battle of the Strongest is now commencing. With Yuji and Higuruma teaming up against Sukuna and Kenjaku's mysterious schemes, the story is about to reach a whole new level. Emo Boy Yuta, Gambledict Hakari, Better Call Higuruma, and Smoke Yuji are all set to demonstrate their preparations for this battle and execute their strategy in the upcoming chapters.